Brendan, thank you very much for joining us on the line today. Many congratulations on signing a new contract with Liverpool Football Club. How much does it mean to you to put pen to paper on a new deal here?
Well, obviously it's a huge privilege for me to manage this club and to have been offered the opportunity to carry on with the work that I've been doing in the last couple of years. It leaves me hugely honoured. So I'm absolutely delighted that we're going to be able to continue, what has been a really exciting time for the club, and we'll look to move forward again next season and the coming seasons.
You said at the end of last season that you wanted to wait until the campaign was finished before you made this announcement. But how important was the timing of this for you?
Yeah, well, the timing was obviously very important for us. I wanted to ensure that we were talking through the season, but my focus was really on the team and the supporters. We wanted to just make sure that we could focus entirely on what we were doing with the job in hand, and then obviously any contract talk we would speak afterwards. So yeah, it was important that we tried to finish the season in the highest position we possibly could, and that would allow us then to obviously look at speaking about the contract after that. It was always going to be straightforward because I love being at Liverpool. There's still a lot of development in the club for me, and as I said, it was always going to be straightforward once the season was finished.
Yeah, Brendan, you talk about the development there and the progression. In terms of your vision for Liverpool, how far do you think the club has progressed since you arrived here in June 2012?
Well, I've been very pleased in terms of how we've, the culture and the environment that we've created in the last 2 seasons. That has been key in order to help us make the strides that we have done. We've got a bunch of players now that are very hungry, they're very committed to helping Liverpool. I take great pride in, I trust every single one of the players. They're truly professional in their approach. They dedicate their lives to making Liverpool the very best it can be. So I think the environment that we've created and the culture that we have for learning for both senior and young players, I've been delighted with. So, but we're now moving into the next phase. We're now into the Champions League. Our dream and goal is to win the Barclays Premier League. That's what we want to do. We've shown this season that we can compete for that, and with some new additions in the summer, we believe that we can fight again. So the objective for me was to try to get Liverpool established again as one of the leading clubs in European and domestic football, and we're on course for that.
Yeah, you mentioned the Champions League nights back at Anfield there, Brendan. Having tasted the atmosphere and its potential at the end of this season, how much are you looking forward to those special Anfield nights in the Champions League?
Yeah, very much so. I think it's a real, it's a real exciting time, and especially as you say, I've seen the games before. I've been fortunate enough to be at Anfield on a Champions League occasion, and they're really truly special evenings. The support that we get, we had it in the Europa League. I sensed a little bit. Of course, it's a different competition, but being, when we needed to get the win against St. Petersburg, the supporters that night were incredible. And throughout my time here in the big games, the supporters really show how passionate they are, and they show why they're the set of great supporters that they are. So now we really look forward to that. We know that in the Champions League, and if we can perform well away from home, then in the home games we're going to be hard to beat because of the supporters and the quality of the team.
Brendan, the club's owners, Fenway Sports Group, they've expressed their delight today at the fact that you've signed a new contract. Can you describe to us just how important their support has been since you arrived here?
Well, that's been key for me, because as a young manager coming into such a prestigious club, I was going to need that time to implement the ideas that I wanted to. And they've shown an inherent belief in my work since the very first day that we spoke. So our relationship is very strong. I'm a great admirer of theirs and their honesty and how they've given me the opportunity to be here. But importantly, as I said, there's a real trust and a real strong relationship between both. So I'm delighted for them, because they put a young man in charge of a great club that believed in me, and hopefully, as I said, I came to Liverpool a big reason because of them, and hopefully they feel vindicated in the work that we've carried out in the last couple of years, and obviously I'm delighted to be and continue that relationship with them.
Brendan, what is your plan now then, between now and the end of the summer and the next campaign? Will we see new signings coming into the club?
Yeah, well, that's the idea. Obviously, it's off-season. We have the World Cup and other various things going on, and people need to refresh and get a break because we've got a long season ahead next season. But in between times, we're still working on signings. You know, the staff behind the scenes, myself, recruitment team, me and Air, we're all working hard still in terms of looking to get players in. So, and obviously at the club that we are now, it's you know, the signings are complex. They're not all simple signings. So, but certainly for sure, you know, we need to strengthen up the squad, and that's something that we're working hard to do over these next numbers of weeks.
Just finally, Brendan, your relationship with the Liverpool supporters, we touched on it earlier in the interview. It seems to have really developed into something special, particularly over the last year or so. What's your message to the Liverpool fans after today's news?
Well, it's first of all to say a big thank you, because they've been patient with me as well as the team. Their support for me is vital, because, as I said, they're several of the greatest supporters in world football. Liverpool supporters know their football, and they know they're part of a great institution, and I'm just very honoured and privileged every time they ever sing my name or show me that support out on the street. So it's very, very important for me. It gives me great encouragement every day of my life that, you know, all the supporters I meet are very complimentary of the work that's going on at the moment, and hopefully now this contract extension will allow us to develop that relationship even more, because it's a relationship that I want to continue.